Hey everyone and welcome. So today I just want to show you guys kind of the difference between using some functions like SUMIF and CountIf against just asking some questions from your data using the little bit of embedded AI that's in the newer versions of Excel. So in 365 and going forward. So here we have a worksheet and it's got different offices and then the first 6 months of the year and then totals at the end. Now, the different offices are repeated throughout. So you could see Philadelphia here and here and here, etc., right? And Houston throughout and Philadelphia throughout. So what I want to know is, for example, how much did each city make, combined? So I wanted to add up all those numbers. So before you could go in here and use what's called a SUMIF. So the SUMIF formula says sum added together if what's in this column equals to Houston, right? And where am I getting the totals from? From column H, over here where the totals are. And add up anytime it says Houston. So that's what this formula says. So let me just show you real quick. We'll do one for Boston. Okay, so I would use equals sum if, there's the function right here. So I'm going to double click on it. And it wants to know the range. Well, we know our range are going to be these numbers here all the way up. So this is going to be my range. I could have named it, but there you have it. I'll go ahead and press a comma because that's the range. And now it's asking for, look right here, the criteria. So the criteria is, we'll put it in quotation marks, Boston. So if it says Boston, that's a criteria, do another comma, then we want the total, right? So it wants to know the sum range next. So I'll go ahead and just grab this whole range all the way down. Keep going. And all the way to the very bottom. When I'm done with my formula, it always begins with an equal. When you're finished, you can always just press the enter key. Whoops, I went a little too far here. Press the enter key and you're done. And there's the numbers that I wanted. All of Boston is added up now. So I could do it that way. But let me show you an easier way now in Excel. Much easier than having to do all that. So I'm going to go up here to the top so you guys can see again where we are. Now, put your mouse in anywhere that there's data. Doesn't matter where it is, okay? Just make sure that it's in this range of data. And then what I want to do is I want to have this do a little bit of AI for me by using this analyze data. So look at this, discover more about your data. It looks for patterns in your data that it can use to create intelligent, personalized suggestions. So I'm going to click on it. And it comes up and it says, look, you can ask a question about your data. And it has some suggestions like the insights for January. What is the percentage distribution of office? Underneath of it, it even shows, look, discover some insights. What is the total for January by office? So it's got Philadelphia through Atlanta. It also has the sum total, which is really what we're looking for right here, but it also included January. So let's ask a question of our data. And I'm going to put in here, what is the total for each office? So I'm asking a question, and it says, here's our answer. And that's exactly what I was trying to do at the bottom using the SUMIF function. And it did it for me. I just asked it a question, and it gave me the answer. So it has the option now of inserting this pivot table. So let's go ahead and do that. What it does is it creates a new worksheet saying suggestion 1, and this is my answer. And that was exactly what I was needing. So that was easy. Now let's take a look at another example. So this time here, I was working on this worksheet that has inventory. And there's type, either hardware or software, and different items like laptops and Adobe Express, whether it's mouse, whatever it might be, a keyboard, etc. So I started off here using the CountIf function for laptops. So this says equals CountIf, and then it has B3 through B52. So B3 through B52. So it's showing this, right? And then it says for what? What are we looking for? Count of what? Well, I want to count the number of them that are there if it says laptop. And there's 13 laptops. I did the same thing for keyboards, just changing out the word keyboard. And if you're wondering what these dollar signs are that I didn't actually say out loud because it just takes a while, that means absolutes. I put dollar signs here around those, meaning that this always do this. So B3, this is always going to be that number. It's not going to change even if I take it and drag it over. So let me show you what I mean instead. So the next thing, let's say that I wanted to do, I'll just show you how this will work. I'm going to say that if it says Adobe Express, okay, and we'll start our formula. Let me make that bold like the others. And then here we'll go ahead and start our formula. And remember, always start with the equal sign. And I want it to say CountIf. So I'm going to double click on this function. And it says, what is the range? All right, well, the range that we're looking for is going to be in here. And I just select it. And I put a comma. See, it says range and then a comma. So I'm going to put a comma. Now let's go into criteria. So what is the criteria? Well, the criteria is going to be, and you always put it in quotation marks, it's going to equal to Adobe Express. And then I close quote and press enter because I'm going to finish my formula or function. You always just press enter. And there's 6 Adobe Express. So I could do that and I can continue on and I can, go all the way out here. Now, I can also, though, use this analyze data. So remember, to use analyze data, you want to put your mouse anywhere in that range that you're looking for. It doesn't matter where, right? I'm going to go ahead and close our other search we had. So my mouse is in this range anywhere. I'm going to click on Analyze Data. It looks at our new data and it gives some suggestions. What is the percentage of distribution of inventory, etc. So I can start asking some questions. So let's say that we want to know, what is the count of the hardware versus software? So let's ask that. So what is the count of hardware and software? Press enter, and there you go. 32 hardware, software 18. If I wanted to use this, I could just click on insert. But I want to give you some more examples here. So let's do count of laptops. 13. Is that what we got over here? Sure enough, 13. Same thing if we change this out with keyboards. What is the count of keyboards? 11? Yep, 11 for sure. All right. So how about if I say it's here to, let's change this to count of each item. So each item would be how many laptops, how many Microsoft Office, etc. So that's what we're going to do here. Count of each item. Press enter. And it gives us a nice little table. Laptops, Microsoft Office, keyboard, mouse. If I like this, I just click on insert the pivot chart. Let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to click on insert the pivot chart. It gives me exactly what I was trying to do the long way of using that CountIf. And look, count of item. And it's got all the numbers right here. Plus, it gave me a beautiful little chart as well as a big bonus, right? And I like charts because most people are visual. So we can really tell that there's a lot more laptops than there are the software down here of Adobe Express. So if I click within that pivot chart, I can change this around to, what is the sum of? Or, how do you do that? You click on the little down arrow right here. You can say value field settings, And you could change this to the average, the sum, the maximum, the minimum, and other things that you could use with this. So I love pivot tables. I'm going to do a class just on pivot tables. But let's go back to our analyzing data. Here's another example. I'll go ahead and close our old analyzed data here. And in this one, we've got regions, months, size, and sales. So let's say that we actually need something like, well, we'll go ahead and our analyze data so we can start asking our questions. So it's got some suggestions. What is the percentage of sales for each region? Actually, that's a good one. So let's just click on it, and boom, there it is. And again, if I just click on Insert Pivot Table, here's our pivot table. There's the sum of sales, the percentage, but it also gives us our nice little chart here. And look, the West did really, really well. You could tell right away, right? Just visually. But you also have this nice table. So it makes it super easy to do just by asking questions of your data, to just go in here and ask questions of it. So you could say, maybe I just want to see the West, or how did the 750 milliliters do? But you can ask these different questions instead of going through and typing all of those functions as you, if you used it before, as you did before. But so much easier to just be able to ask questions of your data. I hope this is helpful. See you next time.